was coming to a balanced level, and she identified this by simply looking at my tongue, which I find fascinating. My system didn't need the Moxibustion anymore. So I am now on this lovely, come in, receive your acupuncture. I'm calmed, I'm settled, and my emotional state has become so much more balanced. I began seeing Dr. Xiao the last week of June in 2013. And at that appointment, she said, I need you to come twice a week for 3 months, and you will definitely see improvement. Well, I started seeing improvement within the definitely after the first treatment, but saw rapid improvements after the first couple weeks. I continued with the twice a week for 3 months, and I'm now basically on a maintenance program where I come once a week. I could probably go longer than that. However, I know to completely come into balance that seeing Dr. Xiao at least once a week will ensure that I continue on that same path towards wellness, healing, and balance of my body, and it's worth it. I've relayed my story to many of my coworkers, and the most common question that is asked of me when they hear that I'm receiving acupuncture is, doesn't it hurt? Aren't you afraid of the needles? And I can assuredly tell everyone that is even considering acupuncture that you do not even feel the needles. They're so tiny. Now, if there's a blockage in a certain meridian where she's inserting that needle, you will feel definitely a momentary ache and a release of that energy. But that just shows me, anyway, that she has found the most definitive point where I need that energy released. And it's momentary. You feel a little ache, not a pinch, not like a needle prick like you're receiving an IV, just a little tiny, oh, that's a good spot. And then it lets go. It's definitely worth it. Absolutely. The ideal patient for Dr. Xiao would be anyone that is feeling a loss of balance, a loss of sense of wellness in their life. I came to her with anxiety issues and intestinal problems. She addresses any sort of type of pain issue, headaches, musculoskeletal problems. Acupuncture will definitely help with that. For the most part, I cannot think of an instance where Dr. Xiao would not be able to help. Allergies, asthma, breathing, it all has to do with energy blockages, and that is exactly and precisely what she is here treating. Not only her acupuncture, but I have to make a comment about some of the Chinese herbs that she's prescribed for me. Initially, they tasted very bitter, and I was a little bit afraid of continuing to drink these teas because it was like, wow. What has happened miraculously is my body now craves them, and I feel so much better after drinking these Chinese herbs that are not harmful. They're actually good for your system. And I think they have added to the progress that I've made through the acupuncture with Dr. Xiao. She has a very keen sense on treating the entire system, not only with acupuncture, but any supplemental herbs or remedies that can aid your healing. My openness and willing to accept treatment from Dr. Xiao stems from spending a year exploring other pathways towards healing. As I mentioned before, seeing a psychiatrist, seeing a GI specialist, seeing musculoskeletal helpers, a psychotherapist, being prescribed drug after pharmaceutical drug that not only made my symptoms worse, but created new problems for me. When Laura Alden Cam did my reading, my energetic reading, she not suggested seeing Dr. Xiao, which I totally and wholeheartedly respect Laura's opinion. She described Dr. Xiao as being this wonderful butterfly with this great ability to heal, which was another way of me having assurance and confidence that I was going to get the treatment and healing that I needed. I knew that acupuncture was never going to harm me, especially not in the ways that some of the pharmaceutical medications had. And through reading about acupuncture, looking up books on energy medicine, I knew that this was the path that my body wanted to take and is probably the way of the future for all patients.